Yun-Sing has just graduated with a degree in computer studies not long ago and is in the process of furthering his studies. Most of his personal hobbies mainly involve the usage of a computer. Today, Yun-Sing will address one particular issue which is extremely related to both his hobbies and his previous field of study. Ladies and gentlemen, I now present to you yours and mine, Tan Yun-Sing, with his speech title, Internet Privacy from a Pirate Standpoint. I repeat, Internet Privacy from a Pirate's Standpoint. Let's invite Tan Yun-Sing.
Toastmaster of the evening, Kevin Lim, distinguished guests of the evening, and my fellow Toastmasters. Good evening.
Good evening.
Today, I would like to address an issue which many of us are familiar with because we live in Malaysia. The issue is internet piracy, not privacy, piracy. Now, what is piracy? Piracy is the act of obtaining digital products from the internet, such as music, movies, and even video games, for free. Yes, piracy is illegal. But there must be a reason on why piracy is still going rampant over the years, even though pirates are currently being prosecuted left and right all over by companies and educational institutes. Because what the educational institutes and companies do to portray piracy is they portray piracy as an act of stealing. And by doing so, they are prosecuting them. And in the act of prosecuting them, they actually cause those pirates to be very desperate. But they must pirates are not intimidated. The reason for why they are not intimidated is because from their standpoint, they believe they are doing something right, and they have a few reasons to pirate products. The first reason is due to the price of the product, which varies in certain countries. Now, we live in a day and age where most digital products only come from two places. The first place is America, and the second place is Japan. Now, let me illustrate an example using video games. An average video game would cost $30 US in the States, which is pretty reasonable for their country. But it's counted as an imported good, which means when it's imported here and converted into ringgit, it will be 3 times the price, 100 ringgit for one game. That's very expensive. Coupled with the fact that most of the people that enjoy this entertainment or digital products are the young generation, the ones that don't have money. Second point is due to the quality of the products, of digital products. Why the quality of the product? Do you know that digital products, for example video games, that all of us play, or that I play, might sometimes be very dissatisfying. It's just like music. Not all the music is towards your own personal liking. You might like some music and you might dislike some music. But what's the point of spending 100 ringgit on some game which you will just quit the next day? The third reason is due to the actions of what companies and education institutes are taking to prevent piracy. What they are doing right now, video games as another example, is they would try to block out the video game at a certain point. You can install the game, but you cannot play it. Because if it's a pirated good, there is a code that detects the good as pirated and it won't let you play it. But there are certain group of pirates, they are known as crackers. And what they do is they crack those games to bypass these countermeasures easily. And it's actually quite hilarious because a company can spend up to a few months discussing and developing a countermeasure to piracy. But every time they try to do that, the crackers will always bypass the system under a few days. Now this goes on, and from a company's standpoint, you feel desperate because all your money is just flowing away like that. And because of that, they are also taking desperate measures. They are suing people who are caught having pirated goods. If they were suing it for a fair price, maybe it would be reasonable. But what they are suing for is actually somewhere between the figures of $20,000 to $1 million. That's an absurd rate. And to the pirates, it's not fair, especially with the fact that most of the people who are caught doing this are young people around my age. You don't have money to pay for that. So rather than being intimidated, the pirates are actually more motivated. They use this as a motivation to crack more games. To recap, the main reason why pirates pirate is because of the pricing of the product, which can be very expensive in certain countries. The second point is due to the fact that the quality of the product might not meet the expectations of the consumer. The third point is due to the fact that is due to the actions of companies against piracy. So you can actually say that piracy itself is a justifiable act. At least to pirates. In conclusion, pirates are actually not what companies and education institutes make them out to be, but rather they are a whole new
Thank you, Toastmaster Tan Yu Sing.
We would like to invite the third evaluator, that is Stephen Lai, to evaluate of the third speaker, Tan Yu Sing.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Firstly, I must congratulate Yu Sing for his conquest to stand up here in front of the lectern to speak. If I remember correctly, the last time he was hiding behind the lectern and using his notes. But today, he was well in front of the audience and speak without notes. Let us all give him a hand for that. Now, today I'm going to be evaluating Yu Sing based on the objective of assignment number 3, which is to have a general and a specific purpose in your speech. Let me start with the speech organizations to achieve this purpose. Yu Sing, what you did was you did a very good intro, which is to start with what is piracy, and let us all know how it is an illegal thing to do. Okay? So that was a very good intro to introduce piracy to the audience. And then you went into the body with the reason why people would actually do piracy on the internet and how it is illegal for us. Now, and then you concluded the whole speech by summarizing the reason and tell us how piracy can be justifiable. A very noble attempt on that. Well done on the structure. I think you have a very good intro, very well informative body, and then a very quick conclusion. Well done on that. I would like to also the way that you give examples in your speech. It helps us to relate to the points that you gave. And then when you give the example, you relate it to yourself, which is very good. All the audience will actually like a speech where the speaker gives examples about themselves. And then that relates the audience to the speaker very well. So well done on that. And the audience will also like the facts that you presented. You have very good facts in terms of the points that were given. Now, with the good facts and the good examples and the good structured speech, I think you did well in achieving the general purpose, which is to give us an informative speech. However, points for improvement. I think that the specific purpose of your speech was not very well defined. Although we know more about piracy, at the end of the day, I felt that I was left high and dry. I didn't know what to do with the information. If you have concluded the information, like for example, let us all be pirates today. Let us all fight against the software vendor or the software developer. Then you have a specific purpose. Right now, I don't have the specific purpose to do, to go on with your speech. And second thing to improve on was the timing. Yes, your speech would have been better if you have concluded it properly instead of getting the time to conclude it for you. If you have, what you have done is that when you saw the red points, you may have just skipped one point or two and then conclude your speech. Okay, all well done on your third attempt in terms of your third speech and your assignment, and I will look forward to your fourth assignment. Thank you.